Okay, so today we are going to be talking about dash cams. So before we get into it, top 3 reasons you have to have a dash cam. Like, it's not optional these days. And the biggest reasons for that are, 1, when you get into an accident, you're going to need evidence. 2, the other party, half the time they're going to change their story. And it's even happened to me where they've hit me, but they'll go in and once they talk to you, they're like, oh yeah, we're all good, you know, the insurance will take care of it. Then they'll go tell their insurance like, oh no, they hit me. And once you show them this evidence from the video, they lose all credibility. And then 3, if you're ever getting pulled over, you're gonna have some evidence, like the police says you ran a red light, you show that you made it across before it turned red. Many more reasons, but you need a dash cam these days. You need evidence. That's the kind of world we live in today. And if you're driving without one in 2025, you are going to suffer. That can be the difference of thousands of dollars, insurance claims, and a lot of headache. So let's get into this video and give you guys a great option for your CRVs. All right, what's up everybody? Today we have a user requested review of the Mangoal dash cam. This is a unique dash cam because it is custom fitted for your specific CRV. It basically will replace a portion of the plastic in the front where the weather sensor is, and this will plug in place, and it looks like it was a part of the vehicle from the factory. So that's the main difference from your typical dash cam, which sticks to the window and hangs out there. So let's get this installed, show you guys how to do that, and then compare the video with a standard dash cam. Okay, so we got this package opened up. Let's take a look at what we have here. So this is the camera unit itself. That's gonna pop in the front. I'll show you where that goes in a second. Here we have the rear portion of the camera, so that's gonna be in the back. And then we have our power cable, so that we're gonna stick into the assembly and get some power flowing, so that way we don't have to plug it into the 12 volt all the way down in the front. So that's gonna look a lot more cleaner. And then here we got our little plastic crowbar. This is what we're gonna use to unpop the plastic in the front and get it going. It does come with a 128 gigabyte memory card, so that's great. And then we got our little instruction manual and then a little paper that shows us about the app. So let's go to the front and show you where this fits in. Let's take a look at the front. So this is our old dash cam unit. As you can see, it's got these unsightly wires and it kind of goes through the front. Couldn't quite fit it in there fully. And then it comes down to here and we got it plugged in here. So not the most aesthetic installation. So let's find a better solution. And that's gonna be our Mangoal dash cam right here. So this will actually plug into here and it's gonna replace this plastic piece up to here. So that's gonna be a really nice swap, and that way it's kind of all very OEM look and feel, symmetric with the vehicle. So let's get that installed and I'll show you guys how we're gonna do that. It's gonna involve opening here a little bit, and here we're gonna get the power flowing through there, and then I'll show you how to connect it there. Okay, so here we have our front sensor from the side view. So this piece is gonna go right here. So we're gonna start by removing this by applying some gentle pressure here. You can see how rattly that is anyway, so I've been meaning to get it replaced. I always hear this thing rattle on the nose on the road, so this is pretty great. All right, so just gentle pressure here with your thumbs. You kind of just push down on this bottom part. I'll link the video so you guys can see how they do it. A very easy video to watch. And then after we got that piece off, we're gonna go to the top portion here, use our little crowbar. There's a few little latches and connect points, but again, I'll link the video so you guys can watch the manufacturer's installation. Be a little bit easier to follow along. And it's not as hard as it looks. It looks kind of hard because there's all these little parts up there, but Honda's made it so simple to kind of swap these parts. So just a quick peek if you're curious, we got this down here, and then this is the power supply that we're gonna tap into. So we're gonna plug in our cable here, and then it's gonna split it into 2, and then, well, I'll say it this way. So one will go back into here, this one will go into there, and then we'll have our extra little power for the camera right here that will fish through the front. We got that popped in, and now we have our power cord coming out of here, so let's put the camera on. Got the power cord plugged in, and now we're just gonna let the rear camera cable hang out so we can wire that in through the top, and I'm gonna pop this into place. We have it installed, and we got the rear cable coming out through here, so that we're gonna push up through here and run that cable all the way around. That was not as bad as it looked. It was honestly probably a little bit easier than installing the traditional camera, because this one I had to spend a ton of time like pushing that wire all the way through, not only for the front but also the rear, and just getting the sizing right so that there wasn't extra wire hanging out over here. But overall, like, it is much easier than even that video shows, or just trying it yourself. It's not that hard to pop these pieces out, especially with the little plastic crowbar just wedged in, pop, pop, pop. It's kind of surprisingly simple how they put all of this together, but definitely anyone can do this installation. Not too challenging. Just don't force anything. It is plastic. Do it at your own discretion, but not a hard installation at all. All right, so we're showing our after the installation side view here. So it sits a little lower, but not terrible. Still definitely a lot better than having a camera floating in the middle of your glass screen. That cable we see on the right is going to be for the rear camera. We'll get that plugged in. Let's get in a little closer, show what we got here. Let's see. Okay, over here we got the little memory card slot. That right there. We got the power button and everything underneath. So let's get that going and show you guys how it looks. Right, so we got the camera being wired up through here. You can see a piece of that cable right there. Just lift it out so you can see, but it is tucked in all the way through here. Really easy, just push it across. You can see the tail of it here, so just scoot it along, and then we're gonna keep it going up through here. And then this one I'm actually gonna mount on the side here next to my LCD screen, so we have a view out that way. I already have a camera in the rear. You can kind of see the wire there, and I already have one on this side. So I'm gonna complete the full 360 camera setup by placing one on that side. I'll show you guys what it looks like after. And you can use the crowbar tool they give you to just go along and push it in between the seams. Pretty easy, easier with two hands, but just scoot your way along and get it all the way to wherever you want that camera to be. So again, I already have a dash cam in the back, so we put this one right up on the side. You can see the camera unit right there, and I'll show you from the inside. Let's go around to here. Let's see, so a lot of wiring because I have a LCD display here that plays a little image, but you can see the camera right there. I have one on this side as well, my previous camera, and then we're going to compare it to our old setup right there. And there you can't even see that we have another dash cam right there. So let's get some footage. Okay, so here's some test footage of the 4K Mangoal dash cam. So just pulling out here, it's super nice because there's almost no glare from the window at all. Nice broad view. It's not like a fisheye lens, which kind of annoys me because it also changes the depth and makes accidents and things like that look different. But this is a nice flat view, very wide angle, but perfect quality, no frame skips or anything. Beautiful camera, definitely must have. And then I'll show you guys a clip from the other camera as well. Okay, so here is the clip from our rear quote-unquote side camera, the back end camera from the Mangoal. So again, very nice footage. So the rear one is 1080p. You're not going to get like another 4K camera. I've never seen dual 4Ks, but it's still perfect enough to get those accidents and everything recorded. Again, you can see very nice footage, very broad view, very happy with the quality. Let that play through. Okay, so now we have our other camera, again recording at the same time for equal comparison. So what I don't like about this one is that it's super fish-eyed. You get a lot more glare from the dash and the windows because it's just a little bit too much fisheye going on. You get the same content recorded, but there's just a lot more curvature to the lens. You can see the glare on the left side, even through the middle of the screen, and that's gonna hide pretty much everything that's happening on the left side. Still decent camera and everything, but not as nice of a footage as the Mangoal. And this is also a 4K camera, so clarity's not an issue, but in terms of like the fisheye lens and everything, not so great. And then here we have the side view, again the rear. This one not too hot. We see some screen tearing up towards the middle. If you're looking at the clouds, you'll see kind of this grainy texture going throughout the camera. The color is kind of changing a little bit, very minor, but again a little bit too fish-eyed. It's kind of stretching things as they get closer and pushing away as they go off to the sides of the camera. Not the most ideal footage when you're trying to show exactly what happened in a certain situation. Faster cars kind of look slower when you do too much fisheye, so not great. But thank you guys for watching another video. Definitely get yourselves a form of dash cam. I recommend the Mangoal because it's just flawless with the interface of the vehicle. Doesn't look like you have extra parts sticking out, and it's just, you know, a beautiful look. Doesn't look too janky or anything. I'll leave a link in the description as well as a link to their installation video. Pick yourselves up one of these beautiful cameras. Thank you to the user who recommended I check it out. I'm very happy with mine. Thank you guys and have a great day.